Hello and welcome to Let's Play with Amplicon. Today we're going to play a couple of one-offs. I recently bought MiniMetro and it's a really fun game to play. So I thought let's record some of the gameplay for you. I'm not a star at it by far, and I just wanted to play a couple of cities and just maybe make a video per city. So okay, this is a metro building game, and you play the game echt really pretty easy, connecting the dots between the different stations and make sure your passengers get from A to B where they want to go. So in this case we have 3 different stations, a square, a circle and a triangle, and right now people want to move from the square to the circle. There's another circle which popped up and we are just going to make our first roundabout. So there we go. We have connected the circles, the squares and the triangles, squares. And basically what I understand from the game is that these little carts will pick up people and they will transport them to the first place in the neighborhood that they want to be. So let's start a second line. So we now have a triangle and a square connected. Let's connect them to a circle as well. So now people can go where they want to go. So this one will bounce back and forth between the 2 destinations. So we got another square which just match them up like this. So what I understand from it, this cart, the yellow one, will pick up the circle passenger waiting around here and will drop it off at the first possible circle station. So you need to think about that when you're building your tracks, that you want your tracks to connect to the different kinds of stations. So now we have an extra station popping up right here, and we simply click the yellow line, drag it over, and it will now be included into our little triangle. Yeah! When you do this, sometimes the fat yellow line will become a fake yellow line. There will be a double line, so to say, and it will make a new. It will go into the new route once it has passed that point. Okay, so still more people wanting to go to the square. Okay, week 2. You now have a new locomotive for your metro. So we have a new locomotive, and we now can choose if we want a carriage or we want tunnels. If we want to go to the other side of this water, I hope I have the mouse on. I hope so, but you can see a canal running through the game. We need tunnels. Right now we have 3 tunnels, so we can traverse it twice and once more. I'm going to go for tunnels right now and make an extra line right there. We can also choose to would that be wise? Nah, I was thinking about circling up the red line as well, but right now we need to include this one. I think we're going to include this one in the red line. Like this we are going to build a tunnel, and like this you won't need a tunnel. I'm opting not to go for the tunnel because you never know when you're gonna need them. So this will be a nice inclusion into our route. So we haven't actually linked up. We are going to do that now. So the blue track. Oh, I was looking to connect. Oh, well, there you go. So the red track is becoming quite long and includes all different kinds of stations. The blue track also covers all stations, and the yellow one as well. So I don't think the red rank is too long right now. If it is, we are going to put an extra wagon on the red track. For now we're going to keep it in reserve because it's... but if we have to include this in the red track, I do think it's time for us to include an extra wagon or an extra what do you call it, locomotive onto the track, just to make sure the people are picked up on time. I've right now transported 107 people and it's Sunday. I don't actually know what this does for us. Oh, apparently you can speed up time as well. We don't want to. Week 3, we get another locomotive, and now we get to choose between tunnels or a line. As we have 5 tunnels and we only need to connect this one to our existing network, we're going to choose an extra line. So let's connect these up into our next square. So we used up 2 tunnels. This line includes the blue, the light blue line includes all different stations. The yellow line includes all different stations, and the red line does as well. And there's still plenty of room for us to expand. As you can see, very, very slowly the world is expanding on us. You can hardly see it happening. It's going at a real slow rate, but the playing field is becoming bigger. Everything is moving well, at a rather calmly pace. This one goes into there. Still no issues. There are different graphs. I don't even know if you can see them in game right now. Let's see if you can. No, not really. With spacebar you pause the game, and when you end the game you can see how well you were doing in different kind of graphs. I haven't figured out yet if I can look at those in the game. So what do we want to do with this new one? I'm thinking we are going to include it in the yellow track. Just so we have... What I'm trying to do later on is create a circle which covers all the areas and all the different stations. So for example, the square, the triangle, the blue lines, and make that delivery stops for all my other train tracks. But we'll see how it goes. I actually have a really disastrous score on this level. So yeah, we can choose another line or we can choose an interchange. An interchange speeds up how fast your passengers get offloaded and loaded onto your carts. I think a line is much more valuable to us right now in the game, because we don't really have one particular station which is overcrowded and needs to get loaded on and off fastly. So if we get a lot more stations on in the top or even in the bottom, especially for the bottom part, I want to reserve my green line for. I'm going to include this in both. How am I going to do that? But because this is a special one, let's call this a star. It's not, but it's a hexagon. So who wants to go there? Nobody wants to go there. That's fine. Yellow track is... There's a couple of people waiting over here. We need to keep an eye on this if we need to put in one of our locomotives. Yeah, you see, these people are getting fed up with waiting, so I think we need to include another train card before things go bad in a hurry. So that leaves us with no trains for our green line at the moment. Our blue line is relatively small and coping well. Both blue lines, although the yellow, the light blue line is a bit longer than the dark blue line, it seems to have less people getting on and off. If the yellow line is getting cumbersome, I also... there we have another locomotive, and now we can choose an interchange or a carriage. I'm going to choose the carriage. I'm going to also extend the blue line in the hopes that we can take one of the yellow locomotives off that line. So we're nearing the 500. We're nearing 500. I believe my personal best is 1200 or something like 1000. And the actual good scores are in the 8000s. So yeah, I suck at this map for now. So this converted into a star. So these are the star and the hexagon are special stations, because the most of them are squares, triangles or circles, and now we have some special destinations. So let's say this is the Louvre of Paris, and this is Gare du Nord. One thing Paris actually has is that's Gare du Nord, and the other, is it Gare du Sud? I don't know. But they have two big train stations in Paris, and they're connected by a rather large walk. I think I'm going to build a new line, a green one, ferrying people from blue to triangles. And as I have one tunnel left, I'm going to use it to connect these up to almost all final destinations. So yeah, this is becoming quite a little town with busy carts. The lines are relatively equal in length, with some of them appearing to be a tad more bigger than the others. So right now we have 0 tunnels left, so I'm going for tunnels, which also gives us the possibility of making a loop of the green line. I think I'm going to extend... Oh, that was not what I wanted. No, I want to go the other way. Yeah, there. Let's see how this works out. These lines have strange squiggly lines now, but yeah. Oh dear. That's all of the way into nowhere. This is a long trip for... This is a very long trip. So what we should do, I think, is get rid of our thingy over here. Create a loop there. And try to no longer include this one, but it doesn't. Okay, I'm stopping pausing the game because I need to rethink how I work this. And I'm going to include you. No. Okay, I need to do that in a bit. I accidentally moved over the green card. So we have a problem which needs to be solved rather quickly also. I think we're going to handle that by putting one of our carriages behind on the yellow line. I can still hear ticking in the background. These guys are not quite having a fun time on the blue line. Is it enough? One carriage. Because blue is actually filled up. Yeah. I'm going to introduce my last locomotive on the blue line. It really needs it. So we are already getting some symptoms of being overcrowded. I still have 2 tunnels left, so I'm thinking of an extra line. How do I want to do this? What are my... The blue line is my trouble at the moment. And people actually just seem to want to go to the plus over here. So how about I connect you? Oh, and a light blue line also has a trouble, also is in trouble. And it's in big trouble. We need to rethink how we do this. We need to introduce a yellow line which connects this. It's gonna leave our blue line with something to deal with. This is actually not going very well. How about I make it a bit quicker? How do I solve this? These people need to go to triangles which are very late in the route over here. So I need a drop-off point. I need one over there. Otherwise these people have to sit in the carriage all the way through this final stage. Yeah, this top one is going to be our bottleneck, I believe. We're not going... No. The yellow line is emptying out for now, but we also have a problem down below. Why is my... Oh, there you go. And game over. So when it gets too crowded, you fail. So how did we do actually? We had, well, our daily trips were 34 daily trips, total trips. We made about 800 trips. We had only 6 angry passengers. We actually had a fairly happy passenger line all the way to the end. I don't know why they were so happy with me over here, but yeah, they decided that they are going to be mad anyway. So over here, the people, the population in Iceland, it rose really quickly, and we couldn't keep up with this incline of population. We had a steady increase of stations, yeah, but the stations got to handle exponentially more people, which we just didn't have the cards for. Oh. Waiting times, is this? Oh, these are all on right now. So average waiting time, well, people had to wait fairly long. They had to wait 5 minutes on the third day and only 3 minutes longer on the last day. So although people had to transfer a lot, well, actually not so much. 0.16 transfers. I don't know what this actually means, 0.16 transfers. Our total capacity actually went down here from 48 to 42 seats. I wonder how we did that. It's the only drop we have. Yeah, and with the population increase, I bet those two overlap. Yeah, you can see that with the increase in population, our increase in used capacity also flooded out. And I'll bet you that there's a really nice correlation in how mad people were. So around this period, around day 37, the population started to grow explosively, and we just couldn't manage to keep up. So there you have it. That was France. It probably wasn't a top score, not even from me alone. I see my best was 1400, and I think we just hit. Well, did we hit 1,000? I don't think we did. And if you're really good, you get about 4,000 passengers across, and there is only a couple of people who actually figured out how to double those numbers. So I wonder how they did this, and if I will be able to do that. So I'm in the top 35 for this one. I'd like to score for a top 20%. That would be nice, but not this time. I let it slide on this one. So thank you for watching, and oh, there was London actually. This wasn't Paris. Next up will be Paris. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.